Yeah. Well, good night, everyone. Welcome back to another night on Skunk HTV. Tonight we're vibing up the place with another interesting topic. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend, a lovely week. You know what I'm saying? It's been hot and cold, but I thank God summer's coming. So I want you to sit back, grab your popcorn, and relax. I'm going to vibe out a little bit. I'm going to introduce my guests one by one. And then, I'm going to take it from there. Yeah, good night, Sadie. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man, I'm fine, man. I know I'm feeling good. I'm okay.
All right. So how was
The weather is fine. You know, I had a blessed week, so can't complain. I'm here, breathing, alive and well.
Definitely, man. Last week we missed you, man. You wasn't in the studio, man. Actually, we wasn't even on the air last week.
That's what's up.
Yeah. We
had that time behind us, so we're going forward now.
Yeah, definitely. We had a little technical difficulties. That's why we couldn't come on last week, though. But you know, we're back again. My next guest in the studio, I'm gonna introduce him. He goes by the name of Glasses, man. Glasses, how you doing, man?
Great. Greetings in the name of His Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie First, Rastafari. Greetings to all the princesses and princes. Yes, to all the fathers and mothers who take time out to listen to the children and to teach them right. Yes.
Yeah.
It has been a beautiful one. It just kept us through it.
Okay.
We're here, so I hope we can, just really have the audience enlightened a little and entertain humorously and educationally and otherwise. So, big up Skunk House TV.
Yeah, man. So I want to ask you a quick question, man. How you feeling the weather so far, man? The weather's starting to warm up a little bit. It's still a little cold, but it's starting to warm up a little bit. How you finding the weather right now?
For me, it's still winter.
So yes, on a springtime.
Spring is still winter for me.
Okay.
Yeah, until June.
Right.
Yeah, then we said summer. But I've been here too long to know that winter is still, spring is still winter. Don't need the jacket, don't need the scarf.
Okay. So you're not taking off your jacket yet?
No.
All right. Well, I see a lot of people outside without them jacket, but you know it's always new moon and weather still in them. Yeah, man, definitely, man. So yeah, man. So definitely, man. So right now, I want you to sit back and listen. We're about to get in some hot topics with Sad Socks and Glasses, man. All right. So tonight's subject, we're talking about family, the difference between the man and the woman. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna turn it over to my guests, and take it from here, cause they're trying to agree to disagree tonight, But I'm gonna take it and see what happens,
Yeah. So what I've noticed is there's a breakdown between male and female. Communication is not like it used to be. And I think there's, for the women, I feel a lot of consternation, a lot of fear, and I kind of feel dismayed for them because there's not much in the pool to choose from where our men are concerned. Because we've lost a lot of our men through violence, death, and incarceration. And what we have left is not much. Right now, I think the ratio is maybe about 5 to 1, 5 female to 1 man. So, there's not much, and most of the men that I see, ranging from maybe 25 to 35, 40, do not have a certain level of education or skills. So there's not much for women to choose from. that's something that has really, impacted upon me a lot. Yeah. So want to just kind of, see if our men, if they're really, are ready to take on the challenge to be men, to be productive and constructive, to even challenge his female and be leaders and to stand beside them and support them. But again, I want to emphasize it that, I think the women are really going through a hard time being able to choose from the men that I see out there, because even the way they dress, their mode of dressing, I wouldn't, I just don't know if my daughter could bring over a guy and say, well, look, Dad, this is my guy, just by the way he dresses or the way he talks or the way he comports himself. So, and then this plays into, and we see where this breaks down and it affects the family structure, because most of the men, they really don't know how to mentor their sons, and the burden is left on the women. And even a lot of the women, I see the way they speak to their children out in the streets. It's not nice.
So you don't think a lot of it is how they was brought up?
Well, when you sit on the street about effect on what happened in the home, them say, learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad. So if you practice disrespect within the household, what do you expect you go and get when you go out street? So, the discipline start from your start, from the family start, that's when the discipline start. You can't wait till when you have it and outgrow, then you have to try to run down counseling. You have to implant that as you go along, preemptively. Be in on a level course of life. You have to always have that. Some people wait until the damage done, then you're trying to put a band-aid on the situation. It's not going to work. You have to have the thing structured in the right and positive way as far as your family is concerned and really rearing kids. Even if you don't have everything all together, such as finance, it's all hard, but that don't mean you can't curve yourself to be proper. You can be poor and still you have certain values where you have to instill in your community, in your family, in your household, in your family, in your community. Because not everybody was born with the golden spoon. So you don't have to have that golden spoon to make everything right. Because you can't have the golden spoon and it's not right at all. You just don't know what to do. So that's what causes the problem. Lack of leadership and lack of positiveness.
So basically it's a lack of role model. They don't have that role model figure to look up to, like a father figure.
That contributes to it also.
Okay.
But the father figure can be there and people just rebel and want to have their way, because I know how I was grown.
So was your father there, your mother?
My family was there. I'm from a family oriented.
Okay.
And I just want to have my way.
Okay.
And no say.
So even though them say spoil the child.
Spare the rod.
Spare the rod and spoil the child.
You got to do what you want to do. If you want to kill me later when I come back home, so what? Me nah go, they got to do the obvious. Do me. When we said doing me, right, my favorite thing was the movie on a Sunday night. I don't know. Me I go see the movie Sunday night because I'm so intrigued all week when you see that posters put up on the movie wall and you know it's coming Sunday night. And All your friends them talking about this movie and you want to see it for yourself.
All right, so okay, so that was you.
That
right?
was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the youths them of today.
So youths have a tendency to always want to rebel. Look for that. But then the parents got to be there.
But a lot of parents are not there.
Well, if
A lot of parents are not there. You have a lot of single mothers, morely single mothers than single fathers. I'm not saying you don't got
if
single
they're not
fathers,
there,
but,
then you know.
but you know what I mean. But if you don't have that role model in your life to look up to, sometimes a lot of kids stray.
Somebody has to be there in the community where all the kids are.
Brother, no idea they can't even trust the people in the community. They're a bunch of pedophiles in the community right now. You can't even trust them in the community.
You understand what me understand what you say? But like me say, observe the hypocrite mingling with the good people that you meet. So you know the good people.
So before we
As I remember when I used to sit in a government yard, I observe the hypocrites mingling with the good people. Take it from there.
Before we get to that, what I was focusing mainly is the observance of what I'm seeing, because I'm more mature and more advanced in age. But what I'm seeing in terms of young men and young women and how that contributes to the breakdown of the family structure and creates an ongoing situation where we are creating more fodder for the criminal system, for the jail system, and where what I see is what I like to coin it as a implosion, where the social structure of our people is falling in on itself, and because there's not enough young men who are brought up the right way and have the right prerequisite to even date women. And a lot of the women too do not know how to relate to men because we weren't brought up that way. So I think it goes in this age and time. I think parental skill needs to be upgraded, where people are taught. I don't know if it's a curriculum that could be brought forward as to how to respect each other, how to conduct ourselves. But we see a steep decline, in the way men and women communicate, and the way that we even talk to each other, the way we address each other. Because the names that we used to address each other, we don't even want to say it live, but they refer to each other, and just the vernacular that is used, out in the streets by young women, adolescents, and older women, is just, terrible, sad. Yeah.
Well, I would say that's what school is for. To help you from an age of infancy to adulthood. But you spend a certain amount of time of the day in school, and you learn in school, but then you have to leave school and go home again and go back to now. So people just have their own way, And women notice in different society, different everywhere you go. Because there's a time back when where I'm from, you know what I'm saying, you can discipline a child. And what I noticed, you are not allowed to discipline your child nowadays in this era, in this great country. You're not allowed to discipline. You cannot discipline a child. You can't. You can't put on your foot. You're mad.
So let me ask you a question.
Broke up, or smash up.
Let me ask you a question. So if you see a kid, right, that's going on the wrong path, what do we need to do to steer him away from that?
You talk to him already here before 1,000 times before you even say it to him. He was told.
He was told.
Yeah. You don't think you're going to be the first one trying to steer right. But because of the lack of certain disciplinary input, it's not there. So, yeah, chap, piece of cake, talk your talk. You're mad?
Yeah, but sometimes I think that, like, you know, you find that happen a lot when it's a broken home, you know what I mean? The mother's there or the father's there, but both parents are not there.
Sometimes the kids broke the home. You're mad, man. Sometimes the kid broke the home because, look, I'll give you one tap.
So, hold on.
I'll give you one chance.
So, all the kids broke the home.
All right. Number one.
The kid only I'll do what he was
Listen, let me tell you, man. Number one, you're getting into a relationship.
Hold on. Listen, hold that down. You get into a relationship. You're listening or you're watching Skunk HTV podcast, Skunk View. All right, Sadi, take it away, sir.
You live in now. You get into a relationship with a single mom, and the single mom have a son. This happened the other day. You know? The mother have a son, and the son he just become a teenager, turned 12, 13, you know. All right. Now, the man comes in and he lives with the female. So they move and got another apartment. And the female and her son and the man move in this new apartment. Now, the son already know this man ain't really his father. That means him know, so the man can't say nothing to him. He must say, well, yeah, my daddy. No. This is something where both man and the woman have to talk to because there's a child in the relationship. So the man have to know what kind of water I'm actually know. But guess what now? Mama nah give me one son. Mama nah give me, boy can't do nothing wrong. You know daddy? Man start to work, man a go work. When he come home, boy, I've been friend them in the house. Well, I friend every time because I read the idea about and a females. And the girl, them, everybody are come. Man can't talk, people can come up in the sofa. Same thing. So, no, that's a problem right there now.
Of course, that's a problem.
But then, something got to give. He go say it, no, him go wrong and go say it to him partner. You mad? If you can take me one pick me when me have. Me one son when me have. If you take me, when you want me though. Man never say put him out, you know. Just curb him. Never say put him out, you know. But before he up, as he open him out and talk, he get a feedback right there. Shut him down, not say nothing. That's what when me have that for me. Galang. You know what I mean? Before you know it now. Every time the car area come up for your house, your house become a neighborhood yard or a neighborhood big yard. All kind of racket go on in your yard now. All of everything that's bad I go on.
So basically,
right, so now the man I go run.
so let me ask you a question. Do you think he lowered his standard to get her?
No. He's trying to look out for the woman when MC suit him needs.
Right.
And the woman have a son and he plan to go with that. Right. But then you are the man of the house now. Expect some leadership role from the male part, counterpart. But hey, somebody have to give. I ain't nobody giving nothing. You know, you gotta get. You got somebody got to go. Somebody got to go.
Wow.
You know, no. And when somebody got to go, man, go ask him, new apartment, new this. Can you manage your rent? One alone can't manage your rent. So you know before you know it. Mass Joe start pass around. You know, no and then Mass Joe. So 100% dysfunction. Because Joe start pass around. Joe no mind. You know, see, Joe don't know say I jump out a frying pan and jump in a fire. Joe don't know that team time no come yet. Because him now hold no rain, I just pass through. So if the place broke down, the fence them pop down all the way. So, you know, nowadays you have to say to the man, you have to be careful what kind of relationship you embark on, especially the man who come from a solid background. Because not all that glitters is gold. Half of the story has never been told.
True.
You know the way they, when you may see a damsel and damsel, look how we are here. Is a chance you take to say, you're going to try to be like it's a big chance. Because you can't walk in and get yourself in a vacuum before you know it, you can't step back out.
Well, I want to ask both of y'all this, right? Do you think that woman should be raising a boy child by herself? I understand stuff happens, right? But I'm asking you a question. Do you think women should be raising or any child by herself?
That's not a choice sometimes. That's not really a choice the woman makes sometimes.
That's why I said I understand sometimes things happen, right?
Yeah, so Carly said things happen and
but that's what I said. So
things happen and that become reality.
Right.
The woman end up with a kid, and she have to tough it up now. She have to tough it out. If you know so well, then she has a challenge on her hand. So that's where you can't gaze now. She gonna need some input or some guidance or some, you know what I mean? Some guardrails gotta be there to help this woman to grow our son to be a productive element in our community. If you not did it, and especially the male, you know, a young male, you know, tend to be very rebellious. You're going to find kids, male kids, growing up for infancy, them always rebellious in their way, where mommy is concerned. You know, because you know it's a little boy. Him always want to broke away from his mother and gone somewhere. Run her down and she have to come back. And him run and laugh. You know, that's a healthy male kid. That's a male kid. Even the girl, they will act like that. I remember at the time when Christ was growing, his mother couldn't find him and his mother go somewhere, go shop or something. And the mother couldn't find him. The little boy gone. When the mother go look for him in there in the synagogue, I talk with some big man, the mother go find him in a big argument with some professors and doctors at the same day. Yeah. So the youth always will go experiment You know? But then you have to catch the thing in the bud and nip it. And feel that void. You know, when you see what's going on, then you have to know if you shuffle the deck and put it on a more positive track.
Right.
Meaning you have to add something. You can trick, diplomatically, you can trick somebody to do something where they normally wouldn't do for themselves, but you trick them into doing it. And when you do it, it's working.
Right.
You know, some people use sports, you know, or some farmer hobby in a community. You know what I mean? Once they give a youth something, if you can try you go through trials with things, and one way him gravitate to, he will adapt to that one, and then he could lead a kid down the right path, you know. Whether music or something, just lead the guidance to the right path, you know.
Let me ask you a question. If you could have changed something, right? If you could have changed something, how society is right now, right? What do you think modern discipline would look like?
That word discipline, take that out of your mind, cut that off. Discipline, verbal discipline don't work because nobody listens.
Nobody listens.
No.
Okay, so
That's like a dictator. Who wants to listen to a dictation? You know what I mean? So, action. You have to find some form of curricular activity to. You have to some eventual activity have to be in the community. Full. Where we get the kid interest, you know, and once they have interest in that part, but yeah, everybody don't like the same thing. Everybody don't like the same thing. So you have a lot of work to do, you know, a lot of social work to do. You know what I say? So you have to take time and try social all around to see which one they can gravitate.
all right, that number is 718-676-0853. That's 718-676-0853. Glasses, what do you think? You're kind of quiet over there, you know. Now hear you for a minute, you know. What do you think?
It comes back to the breakdown of the communication between men and women. And it's, when you talk about discipline, and I think most times for people, you know, they think about discipline as a whooping, and that's not discipline. So we have to look at a more intelligent way. And discipline, if you discipline the mind of a child from a very early age, then there's no need for any so-called discipline, because once the mind is disciplined, then the person just acts disciplined naturally. And recently I saw a mother with two kids, a boy and a girl. They range from maybe about 4. The boy was younger than his sister, but as I spoke with them, I saw that the mind was disciplined, and we had a conversation, and that was one set of kids. And then I see too often, not as prevalent as these two kids, where we see other kids are on the opposite polarity, just different, totally different. There's a need for this physical beating and whooping because the mind is not disciplined. Another thing that plagues society now, and it's funny that this term, single mother, single mother has become somewhat of a title and a form of maybe an epithet. You know, it's something to be, each time you see a mother here, well, I'm a single mother, as if that's the trend. And because of that, then that feeds into the breakdown of our society, because there's too many single mothers. But what is the catalyst that sets that into motion? And that's because a lot of people who have children do not have the requirements to be parents. How do you parent a child? What kind of a conversation are you having with your child? At 3, 4 years old, what level of conversation are you having with that child? Are you setting that child on a path that can communicate with you in an intelligent manner? And so you might even find yourself learning from that child, because a lot of times we think that because we're adults we can. The 6-year-olds and the 7-year-olds, if we put them on the right path, they can teach us things that would just blow us away. So first we have to discipline the mind of the child, not with the colonialistic slavery mentality where you get a whooping and a beating and a bashing. No, disciplining the mind by having constructive dialogue, intelligent dialogue, by introducing resources and materials and tools to a child at an early age, and then it just naturally the child just naturally functions on a very high level, higher than you know. So yeah.
So that's what your mother discipline would kind of look like. You start from a tender age.
Yes, from conception. Always we got to think about from conception. And it has to do with discipline of the parents, the mother, and the father, even before the child is born. So if you have a disciplined parent, a disciplined mother and a father, naturally that child will come out, you know, a certain way. You know, if you keep them on the right path, just keep them on the right path. There's no need for that beating and whooping. Like I said, those are just legacies that we inherited from the colonialistic slavery mentality, where you need to get a whooping and a beating. Because I didn't practice that with my daughter. I didn't see the need for it. It was
you can't do it. You can't do it, America.
Not anywhere in the world you need to do that.
No, but then it's that you say it's called colonial, but I would say you read from the Bible, it tell you if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. That term exactly came from a biblical concept.
I don't subscribe to no biblical concept. So I'm not on the path of the Bible.
Well,
the Bible wasn't written for me. The Bible was written for who was around at that time.
So
I am the Bible.
So what I notice is we all go to school and there's no subject in the curriculum called parenting. So what I get to discover, what I get to discover, tradition follow that, like how them say blood follow vein. Well, tradition home come with a mother and father, and there within you have disciplinary set where you follow the rules and the regulation of the home. But then you will find kids, male or female, at the time will get rebellious. Is how far they go. Because certain things can be overlooked. And there are certain things that cannot be overlooked. So now, each household and each home is different, you know, because you may find some neighbor don't discipline their child. And one thing we know with my father, he noticed him live in a community and he know what he want from feed kids. Meaning, me and my brother and sister, we weren't allowed to do. Even though me say me will take a beating and go to the movies. Because that's the greatest sin. You know? But there are things that are worse with other kids that do worse than that. You know? And my father, that make you get away. You know what I mean? And it's just that out of all the 11, me have brother were bigger than me and them not do what me do. But me was the curious one, like Curious George. You say, me not care, me I don't do what me want to do. I know. You know? And I wasn't bad. But I would, every Sunday me get beaten. Every Sunday. Every Sunday night me get beaten. Yeah. And I'm still here. So when you say right, beating not serve nothing. I'm not afraid of lashes. I can't do a little John say. I'm not afraid of lashes over my back. Because I go and do what I want to do. I'm not going to run. I come home if you want to kill me. Because one thing, all of my brother and sister, they will run from the old man. Me not run. Me not run. Me a one kid when I run. You want to do what you want to do, you do what you want to do. I only do what I have to do. I go get my share of fun. You know what I mean? And I'm still here talking about it. You know?
I want to say something. And then I'm going to ask a question, right? I was at work and I got lunch. So I said, you know what? I'll go for lunch. When I drive by, I see one parking lot. There's a whole bunch of picnic there. My man take off him jacket, you know. Take off him jacket. And like him friend them and amp him up and him like, yo, I'm ready feet, you know, I'm ready feet. Then he said, Pitney start run from every direction. I never said nothing like that.
I run from him.
I run to the fight.
Oh.
I run to the fight from I couldn't believe it.
They flock around.
Them I run from every direction to the fight. You understand me?
Yeah.
It's like when we work now, it's like a major highway. And it's like them run across the street. Them just have to get to the fight.
Them not pay attention to the oncoming traffic.
Them just have to get to the fight.
So they impede the traffic.
Boy, them impede the traffic. Right? Them impede the traffic. But then now, what I notice now is that like all the kids them get around like and I'm saying to myself, like, damn, stuff have changed because like when I went to school, we never really did this. I guess because we probably didn't have cell phones, but we never did this. But it's a different time. It's a different time, right? But everybody, I mean, all the kids had out their cell phone. Everybody was taping the fight. Everybody was taping the fight.
And them no driver, no deer hit them. No driver, no deer see kids across the street and hit them. They know that. You think they don't know?
That is really crazy.
I'm asking you, don't you think they know that? They know. They know what they're doing. When we just come from Jamaica and we see me I take the New York, the subway, and when we look and see our kid, some kind of conversation with them right in front of grown people, and the police officers stand up there and the kid them attack, and them not see who stand up there, they don't care. Anything pop out of their mouth. So, I was like, wow, really?
So let me ask you a question now, right? So since I said that, because I wanted to ask a question. So do you think that society like glamorizes like the fight? Because that shouldn't be.
Glamorized society, glamorized. it is what it is.
Glasses, what do you think about that? Hold on. Repeat that for me. Repeat that for me again. Because I think everybody needs to hear what I must say. You understand me? Repeat that for me, sir.
Yes, it's a prevailing culture within the society. And most of these kids, 95 or 99.9% of them, if you check their home life, there's something missing. Because again, it comes back to discipline. And parents are really failing the children. It's not the children. The children aren't bad or ill-disciplined. It's the parents who are failing the children and passing off their responsibilities and obligation on teachers to teach their children. No. And if parents take a day off when they go to work, call in and say, I'm not coming in today, and just hijack your child out in the street, just, randomly, when he's coming from school or when she's coming from school. You'll see how your child is acting out in the street. So those are things that the modern day parent can do to let that child know, like it's a psychological barrier that, and with just the right kind of exposure, the right kind of exposure. If you expose the children to the right things at an early age, expose them to music, to art, and things like that, they will have more constructive things to exhaust their energy. And once they get accustomed and liking that, they're not going to go to that negativity. So those children we see loving to see that fight, it's because there's nothing really constructive, nothing that really attracts them for them to exhaust their energy into. So that takes the place. But if they had, if they had other things that would supplement for that, after school, you go to, teach your child from an early age, maybe expose them to lawn tennis or table tennis or something like that, or whatever. But always you have to find ways to engage your child. And when they come home, you sit your son down and you talk to him and say, "Boy," when you reach a certain age, you ask your son, if you see, if he's, how, if he's liking girls and girls are liking boys, and how you see, how you're to interact with a boy or a girl if you like her. These are things that we have to do as parents. And there's another thing too, where a lot of parents, especially these single mothers, they have a lot of boys and a lot of girls, and they're living separate lives. The child comes home, he or she goes in his room or her room, and the parent is in their room, and there's no interaction, there's no dialogue until the child comes out to eat or to drink and goes back in his room and maybe plays video game all night or all day. And so there's a breakdown. And so these children are coming from homes where it's splintered and fractured and really, really, really broken.
But I find this in the black community a lot. What do you think? Or in all communities?
Wherever you go, whether black, white, purple, pink, or blue, you got to be there to see it, to believe it. One child, no matter the color, they all act the same way, whether they're white or black. But you might live in this other neighborhood, see. But they are all the same. People are the same wherever we go. Don't think that problem is just.
trains, you see a lot of the boys who are surfing on the trains. It's basically my skin color, my children. I had an experience a couple of weeks ago where I was in a location, and there were about 30 or 40 kids ranging from maybe 14 to 16 or so, and I really felt insecure. I felt fear, and I didn't know that could have happened to me. But because if 10 of these kids attack you, then they're gonna maul you, and just the behavior, all of them were this is the same behavior, and I couldn't see one of them that had a different look or a different form of comportment of self. And when I've had individual experiences with people of my ethnicity that displays a totally different behavior, but for the vast majority, I think we're really losing the battle, and I don't know what it's gonna take to really change things around, but we're really,
I would say the fact about surfing and the subway, you got to see it to believe it. It's not an ethnic problem, just say one ethnicity, all of them. No matter where they're from, all kids do the same thing. They bully, they do the same thing. What you see happen in your neighborhood, in our next neighborhood, it's happening. You're just not seeing it because you're not there.
That's another thing. You mentioned something sad, bullying. That's still mesmerizing, because when I was growing up, no boy couldn't bully me. And if you tried a couple of times, well, sooner or later we'll put a stop to it.
No, man, don't say that.
So,
Don't say that.
when I was growing up, no boy couldn't do that for a long period of time, because we're going to get 2 stone upside the head, or we're going to get a piece of stick grass and face.
Well,
So this kind of bullying what I hear people talking about now, I really don't know what it's all about.
Let me say something
I
to
don't
you.
know.
Let me say something to you. Me growing up in this 1968, I went to Race Course Primary School, and my principal for the school, his name was Ben Gosmore. That man was everything. He was the DA, he was the police, he was everything in the school. And guess what? My judge, the prosecutor, and the executioner. So now, when you go to school from grade 1 level, so at the first day of school, him call up everybody in the auditorium from grade 1, and him call up one senior on the stage, on the platform, not really stage, and him tell all of the newcomers in the school, which you come to school in your grade 1. And him point on this kid, this boy, his name was Carlton Donner. And Gosmore said to all the little one them, you see, anytime this guy here touch one of you, let me know. Don't be afraid. You know him though? He make sure call out the bully. And the bully was a grade 9. That means a big boy, he's not supposed to touch no kid. But that guy, him know if he beat up like a kid. And Gosmore, him watch out all them kids. You can have fun, but you cannot do certain things on the street and things because you are not in school. It won't affect you. Anything you do on the road, you get prosecuted for it when you come back to school. Because the kids, them will come tell Gosmore the story where you do out there. And Gosmore in police, all of the neighborhood them, all of the district them were in school district. He police all of them street. And everybody's story come report, Ben Gosmore. You know, when we come to America, I mean, watch this movie, Lean on Me movie. You see that movie? Name Lean on Me? Morgan Freeman. Well, Morgan Freeman was acting like Ben Gosmore in Jamaica. So Ben Gosmore is here. And when it come to kids doing certain things, when you're out of schoolyard, kids them happy-go-lucky. That's when they tend to do, they will tease people. You have some people where kids them tease them. And them say, I'm going to tell Mr. Gosmore. Well, you have one little Indian one, they call her Look to See. when everybody see her on the street. Yeah. Look to See. That's her name. That's what them call her. And you have this other man now, he used to work at, he was the groundsman at the library, and they call that man Tiger. And look, when him come a Mr. Gosmore, when him come a Gosmore, come.
Hold on.
Man Tiger.
Hold on. Yes, sir. Man
Tiger.
Hold on, you just make them things up as you go along with that. Because I can't believe them names.
You don't believe it, man, I'm telling you the truth,
Yeah, man,
and I have no reason to lie.
skipped it for the
I'm not reason to lie, man. I could write a book and you're dead with laugh. So,
the funny thing, you know, when Jamaican give you a name, you know, it pity you know. If him say it's Man Tiger, you look like a Man Tiger. And if him say you look to see, you look the part.
Well, Indian lady, you know. And he says, I'm going to tell teacher Gosmore. And when he got school, he was playing, but dear Gosmore knows that, look, no, she's kind of 7:30, you know. Mr. Gosmore understand that. But that not give you the right to a Mac and JR. And that's what happened. So she will go to school and she go complain to Gosmore. The teacher Gosmore, they see me. And them she say in the car, one thing with Gosmore, everybody in a uniform. Khaki and blue uniform. You know, they all kids look the same. So, you know, with Man Tiger now. Man Tiger is from my neighborhood. And the neighborhood we live in. They call them the Backstreet Boys. That means Backstreet Boys, them are the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? Eh? In any neighborhood, that neighborhood is named. Known. Nothing good can come from Backstreet. So look, no. Man Tiger will go and say, lodge him information to Mr. Gosmore. And Mr. Gosmore knows, well then, everybody will come from around an airfield, come out. Whether you're in a grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. As you come from airfield line, giant line.
Kingston or Town?
No, man, Clarendon, man.
Clarendon.
And you know what it was? You know what they call identification parade? You ever heard about the ID parade?
Yes, man.
That's what Gosmore did. Okay. Call her and try them an ID parade. And now, the man get Man Tiger, get to find who trouble him.
Call him Man Tiger.
Yeah. So even if you call him Man Tiger 5 weeks ago and you remember, so you call him Man Tiger 5 weeks ago, you cannot get away from this indictment because you already called him Man Tiger. So you can't hide. You will remember once you see your face, you remember, so you call him, so what happened now? You just try to find out some youths try to dodge from him and get what they can't get around him. He knows them. Because some of them live on the same block. And you know, he knows some of them parents. And he know the one them when not really that bad enough. And he know the one them were really bad. You know what I mean? So he put them out and Gosmore is a man now. Gosmore have a way. Running school. You talk about slave master beating. Well, that is one thing, that's why them get rid of Mr. Gosmore. race course. Because he used to beat people. People when I beat them picnic, Gosmore beat him. If your picnic step out of line, Gosmore, I put on the whip. Whether you like it, yes or no. So that's why they organize to get him out. But it wasn't really the most important fact. The reason why him left, them bring in a high school, Kempsey High School, in the neighborhood. Them call it secondary, not junior secondary. You have junior secondary before, but my time them call it secondary. Now it's high school. That's how them get him out of the district. You know, see? But Mr. Gosmore, you see people now, when they're disciplining kids, and your kid will come to school, come behave. At one point, there was this parent come to school because Gosmore disciplining daughter. Whether you're a boy or a girl, Gosmore bust your ass. Gosmore have him way out. Him run him school yard. So I remember this man come to the schoolyard after him daughter get beaten. And you don't know what Mr. Gosmore do. Mr. Gosmore set on the kids them on the man. And the man get hog tie up. You hear me? The man get hog tie and was brought to the police station. Can't come from the school property. And guess how hog tie? Mr. Gosmore have him set an inch. In inch man where the grown. You have some youth with big boy at school bigger than. You understand me? I say, Albert. So those were the ones where that he would choose to do certain mission. So Gosmore used to run in schoolyard. You can't just walk in a schoolyard and come say you do anything because you are one kid father, you are rebellion. No, man. You don't do that, no. You come on, Gosmore have you tied up, man, and you gonna carry your station. Yeah. You see that happen? Yeah. So, I mean, today now with some kids, I don't know, teacher can't talk to kids at school. You know, a little young boy, don't teacher can't talk to them. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that teachers can't talk to them kids at school? Where they were carrying my flag go at school now. Yeah. So that's you know, kids act, kids do kids thing here, man. You know, and kids are rebellious. Cause I was once a kid, and there are things where you're not normally allowed to do, but then kids do it, and them know them parents agree with it, but you do. Mostly things them way, but you know, limit. There's a limit to things where you cross certain. You don't cross certain limits. You know, you have to limit yourself. You know what I mean there?
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. You know what I said? We reached the end of our time. So a while ago, before we come on, the guys that was behind the scene doing a little thing, So we're about to sign off still, So I want them for us. Go on the thing, you understand me? Let's go on the thing, man. The thing is so nice.
Big up. Skunk Coast Radio. Sad.
Yeah, man.
Yes, yeah. Yes, woman. Yes, I wanna be with you. Yes, woman. Yeah. Say I wanna be with you.
Hey, Baby, coming on this little girl that with your name Sister Sue. But when she cook up me, I toast you. But when she steam up me good carnalo. Hey, Sister Sue, how do you do? Which one she live up on the avenue? She have a brother when them call Boy Blue. Every day him get up and with them face full of screw. In a him we say them a bad do.
Wanna be with you, woman, when I'm wrapped up in your warm embrace. You make me feel like a brand new man.
Well, I'm a skit, I want to meet them as a skit at them. But I'm a skit and jumping on the hot collar room. But a big one, them bind you, you catch them get low. You don't know go to Dr. Man, me sorry for you. This some purpose attack and them point of view.
Say now, you never let me down. You made me with the highest crown. Woman,
mommy.
is so beautiful.
Oh, mommy, mommy blue. Oh, mommy blue.
Woman that looking so wonderful in my eyes.
Oh, mommy.
Say I wanna be
Oh,
with
mommy,
you.
mommy blue. Oh, mommy blue.
Be with you.
Only see the girl that wear the glasses that do.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They live up on the inner over half of you.
Tell me now, who gets?
When I say my ask it out, and me say my ask it out too. Ask it out to up in a hot color. Big one them biting you, catch them get blue. Don't go to doctor, me say sorry for you. La oh mommy, la oh mommy. Oh mommy blue, oh mommy blue.
You never let me down, woman. You never wear no frown. And when I'm feeling down, you pick me up with the sweetest smile. You rearrange all the things I've got going on. And you make me feel so good. I just can't be without you. 'Cause I wanna be with you, woman.
Say what you gonna do, me say I don't have a clue.
Come on, woman, and hold my hand. For in your nest I really want to rest. On your breast I really want to rest. Well, said I wanna be with you, woman. Yes, I
When
wanna
I oh mommy, mommy blue. Oh mommy blue.
be with you.
I wanna be with you.
When the rain is falling down and I'm wrapped up in your warm embrace, I feel so brand new. Yes, I wanna be with you.
Yeah, y'all.
Well, it's a wrap. Thank you for joining us tonight. Check us out next week on Skunk Cage TV at 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us. We had a good night.
Yeah, man, that was nice and short and crisp.
Yeah.
Nice, you know.
Definitely.
Yes, big up to Gilligan, Joe, Marcia Deans, Selwyn, yes, all Parrockaway crew. Big up everyone. I love her, Rastafari.
Yes. From east, north, south, and west. Can't put skunk house to the test, you know.
Said I wanna be with you. Yeah, yes. When I'm wrapped up in your warm embrace. Yes, your love I wanna taste. So sweet, woman. You bring me up.